Okay, just first with an update on Chandler Zavala. Everything is checked out well. He's got movement in all extremities, so we're very encouraged about that. We're thankful for the medical team, the way they handled it. I think there is a chance that he'll be able to fly back with us on the plane. It's trending in that direction, but we're thankful that he's okay and moving in the right direction. I'll open it up from there.
Frank, communication at Reich today seems to be very extremely difficult. Can you elaborate on that and how much it related to just being out of sync possibly with Chandler?
Obviously, a tough environment to play in. There were still too many plays in which the communication was not at the level it needed to be, so we'll have to go back and continue to work on those things. I thought, we had a good week of practice, working some of those things out. At times today, it was very smooth and, very good, but we have to eliminate, you want to have 0 unforced errors. That's always the goal. So, we'll go back and look at how many of these pre-snap penalties we had, how much of an issue that was, and keep working on it to get better.
Right. How was that moment when you got on the field and initially didn't look like Chandler was moving a whole lot? How scary was that, or what were your reactions?
It was scary. It was scary. We get out there and it didn't look like he was moving a lot, but a minute or so into it, I saw him move his arm, and so I was hopeful there. And the medical team just did a good job, right? Play it safe, but thankfully everything looks good.
Frank, what do you tell players in a situation like that when they have to go back on the field and kind of reset after watching something like that?
Well, it's hard. Sometimes you want to think the worst, but you really have to think the best. And I think guys have been around this league long enough to know that the medical teams do a great job. They're always going to be overcautious, and protect for worst case scenarios. So your heart goes out. You don't want it to be anything severe, but you also understand that we got the right medical people in attendance, and they're going to do a great job. And I mean, a very high percentage of the time, everything's fine. So you have to just be able to detach yourself from that and move on and get ready to play.
Did Thomas Brown do any of the play calling today, or was that on you?
I was calling the plays, but it was like every other game. We collaborated. We collaborated all the way through it, like we have every other game. So Thomas is contributing. The whole staff's contributing. It all comes through Thomas, but no, I called the plays.
Right. Was the first interception by Boyce, was that meant to be a slip screen to Ian, or what?
It's one of those, the end comes up the field, you push him out, and you just dip it up inside him. We just weren't able to get that done.
21 points off the turnovers. It seems like repeating yourselves. How do you get over that hump of that issue?
Yeah, that's a good football team. They're an explosive offense. We knew that coming in. We made it easy for them by turning the ball over. We just got to clean. You go on the road against against a good football team and an explosive offense, and you can't hand it to them. What we've talked about is, make teams beat us, make them go the long road. So we haven't been able to put together a game yet where I feel like we've been able to do that. So as coaches and players, we have to take responsibility for that and keep working to get better. Yeah, no, there was no point where I was considering any change.
What did you learn about what actually happened to Chandler?
We're thinking it's just a bad stinger. It was a big pile. I think it was a big pile, big collision. I'm not sure what happened underneath there, but sometimes you just kind of get hit sideways in the neck. I don't want to project too much, but I do know that there was a pretty big pile there because we were trying to look at it on the replay, and you couldn't really tell because there were too many bodies in there. Listen, some of it is, you play the quarterback position, and you touch the ball every play and throw it enough times, you're going to make some. Been too many. We've had too many turnovers. They're not all on Bryce. We had a couple games there where he didn't throw an interception, but we just still got to look at every one and try to eliminate all of them. And I know he's trying to do that. And I feel like today, the one on the tight end screen, that's just kind of a fluke thing. That's just kind of a fluke thing. A good play by them, and then the second one probably tried to force one in there that we shouldn't have forced in there.
Frank, you were in the locker room for a considerable amount of time after. What'd you say to your team?
Keep pounding. Keep pounding. You get to this position, and no one envisioned this. No one envisioned this. And so you have to, this is the embodiment of keep pounding. And the only way you do that is if you believe. If you believe it's going to make a difference. Otherwise, you just check out. And so that's the essence of keep pounding. It's a mental toughness that even when things aren't going your way, you go back in and we go back in and try to have our best week of work ever this week, because I think it will make a difference in me. I think it makes a difference in everybody who does that. And I believe our players will do that they will. And and it's hard. I mean, it's hard when you're on 5. But shoot, there's people in life. It's hard. People. This is right. Football is everything to us. But there's people out there that that's the essence and message of keep pounding. It applies to us. It applies to life, and that's all there is. Keep fighting to get better, and know that it's going to make an impact. It's going to make an impact this year, in future, tomorrow, and future days. But you keep pounding to fight to get better. Absolutely. We have a great group of veteran leaders. And, listen, I don't feel sorry for any of us, right? But I feel bad that we're here. Like, these guys are working hard, making sacrifices, and you want to win for a lot of reasons, but you want to win for these guys, these leaders in the locker room. And I believe that will happen. I don't know when, but I believe that we will keep working towards that. I believe we have the players to do it. I believe we have the coaches to do it. And that's why you fight and scratch and claw every day, because you believe that. And I will never waver in that. I know the guys in that locker room. I know the coaches in that locker room. So you have that belief, and you want it all to come to fruition right now, next week, against the Miami Dolphins, and this year, and we turn things around and have a miraculous turnaround, and that can happen. But if it doesn't happen, and if we're fighting and scratching to get better for future, then that's the benefit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know this, that I'm going to come to work. This will be my best week of work ever.
Frank, a couple more questions. Frank, earlier in the week, you talked about you wanted to have a balanced attack on offense and you wanted to get the ground game. When you guys did that, we had the most rushing yards on the lines against any team this season. But in game, just how hard was it to scheme against them?
They're a good front. They play physical. They play hard. I did think we ran the ball effectively at times. Thought Bryce did a good job of managing the run game. We had some run-pass checks. Thought Bryce did a good job handling those run-pass checks.
We saw some frustration out of Brian Burns today. Given that contract didn't get done and now the losses, will you seek him out or have you already to kind of see where he is?
I meet with the leadership. We have had leadership council. I meet with those guys every Wednesday. And obviously Brian's in that meeting. And so, listen, I cannot say enough about Brian Burns. He stands for everything you want a football player to stand for, everything you want a leader to stand for. I mean, that guy he's the epitome of what you want as a winner. That guy's a winner, and that's where you feel bad for guys like that. That he's been here a long time. We've not been able to win, and everybody deserves better, but he deserves better. And he deserves better. And I believe that's why we're here, and I believe that it can work out where he can see that.
There was a lot of optimism with you returning to Charlotte as the #1 pick, and now that we're about to start personally, how do you kind of process these losses?
it's disappointing, it's frustrating, it's agonizing, it's all those things, but I'd never waver, you know, in my belief in what we're doing and how we're doing it and what it takes to win. You know, I know it sounds, you know, we say it over and over. I've, you know, been through situations like this before and got out of situations like this before. I know, I've seen it. I've seen it I've seen it myself, for me personally. I've seen it in teams I've been on. I've seen it in other teams. I know what the answer is. It's not easy. And there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees it turns when and why you want it to turn. So that's really the essence of, you know, who are we going to be? And are we going to keep fighting? And are we going to keep pounding? And I believe we will.
Did you get closer?
Last one right here.
Or identity? Did you get any closer to finding that identity?
I think so. I think so.
Can you say what that is now?
Well, I mean, I don't want to go into it too far because, you know, that'll continue to unfold. But as bad as some things were, there were some other things that you know, it's hard to say this when you get beat the way we did today, but there's things in there that I see that we can build on, and we will.